Hey guys, welcome to a live edition here on the BJ Show. We're not inside, we are outside in nature, so welcome all. So I like to introduce to this person. It's not just, well, he's new to guest on the BJ Show. I know him for a long time, where he's going to talk about like general health and fitness, and this might be useful for you, for if you're interested of, want to get into that kind of stuff. So if you are interested, give this a like, subscribe, hit that notification, because I tell you, this person's not just a trainer, will limit, pressure you, challenge you to your ability, but a person that I can't believe I'm going to now introduce to Damo, known for Damian Hall. Welcome.
G'day, hello, how you going? BJ, thanks very much for having me.
No worries. So we've got, it's a bit of a, it's not just about fitness and your hobby, job, and other part of your life. So before we get into these main questions, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously I've been born and raised in Adelaide, and I've always come to the conclusion is why leave a really perfect place, and I've got no ambitions of leaving Adelaide to live in another area at the moment. I've always been into health and fitness. It's been a part of my life since I was really young, probably around 16 when I started getting into competitive sport, and I thought, why not make that a career pathway?
Awesome. And now for first a two-part question of how did you get into personal training?
Well, it came from my sport. So I'm a competitive cycling. I've been a cyclist. I've been a cyclist for nearly 25 years. And a lot of people, including my parents, said, why don't you explore the avenue of fitness industry? So I was either weighing up the fitness industry or counselling, and youth counselling in particular, but I chose to go down the health and fitness pathway, and now I've been a personal trainer for over 20 years. So in the game for a little while, BJ, and I've seen a lot of change in terms of what people are doing, and the trends of fitness and where people are taking it, and health hacking, and now it's just always evolving to different pathways, and it's something it's really exciting to investigate. So probably I'm glad I've gone down this pathway. If I had my time again, would I change things? Probably not, because there's a lot of skills and probably principles and morals and that I've learned from the sport, and also health and fitness, that you can apply to everyday life.
Yes, so part two of how long you've been a personal trainer.
Part two is 20 years. 20 years, I never thought I would be in the industry for 20 years, but there's something that has kept me coming back, because I'm learning all the time, different techniques, different protocols, different strength protocols, health and fitness, and I just thought to myself, I need to keep going with this sort of stuff, because it's like you pick the edge, and you want to see how far you can get down into that edge, in terms of learning and experiencing, because it's only going to make you grow. But it's also exciting watching other people more or less transition their lives and make them the best versions of themselves, which is quite powerful.
Powerful, that's a good word. Yeah. So what sports have you achieved in the right of like national championships for that kind of?
Yeah, so like a good Australian schoolboy, I started with Aussie Rules footy. So I was pretty fortunate. I went to a Sacred Heart, which is renowned for their football and the type of talent they do possess, and more or less exporting to the AFL. I was never good enough to take it to that far where I made any sort of real achievements from football. But then I transitioned into baseball. We actually won I think it was the junior under 13 state championship. That was my first championship that I did. So baseball has always been dear to me. But then more or less transitioned out of footy and baseball, and got a really strange story. My dad moved into motorsport when I was roughly around about 10, and he actually owned a construction business, and he wanted to get fit for car racing, and he more or less brought home a bike. And I remember asking my dad this, and it was a very unusual question to ask your dad, but I'm like, Dad, can I start racing and he said to me, mate, I just don't think your mother can handle me and you racing at the same time. So he brought home a bike, and I thought, okay, the next closest thing to motorsport I can get is probably cycling. So I just pinched his bike, and whenever he came home to use the bike to get fit for the car, then it was always gone because I was on it. So that was quite interesting. So that's how I got into cycling, is I just fell in love with the bike and kept riding and still really enjoyed motorsport because my dad did it, and I was always been a huge follower of motorsport. But obviously I asked him and I just didn't keep asking him, and now moving into just cycling, and that's been part of my world for nearly 25 years. So I started on the track, so I did track cycling, so velodrome. I got some good results there. Got third in state championships in the juniors under 19s in the sprints, and then I transitioned to the road, where I did. I think I came third in the state under 19 men road race. Then I didn't really click to that next level. I couldn't really go turn pro. I had the ambition, oh wow, Tour Down Under then started, and wow, could I actually be a Tour Down Under rider? And so, as a kid, you always dream big, and you always want to teach your kids to dream big. And it's more or less, it didn't happen. So then I moved from some road cycling to mountain biking. And in mountain biking, I won third in the cross-country Olympic in Masters 1 division, which is 30 to 39 age group. Got third in that. Soon after that, I broke my left collarbone and my right collarbone. So then I had some time, had to recover, and then I moved away from mountain biking. I think I only did mountain biking for roughly about maybe 4 or 5 years, and I moved into a sport named cyclocross, which is a lot of people probably haven't heard of, BJ. It's quite a new sport. It's huge in Belgium, huge in Holland, but it's essentially using a road bike, and you're racing off-road. So you're on the grass and mulch and sand, and they chuck in the staircase there for you to run up, and a couple of steeples. But it's generally a 1 hour race, but it's max out. You've got your heart rate between 175 and 185, and you've got to sort of just hold that really hard pace for probably an hour. And then so I won the state championships in 2022 in the Masters 2 category, which is age 35 to 39. And I've had multiple thirds and seconds in that same category as well. And then obviously I was really blessed enough to get third in a national event that same year as well. So that was 2022 was a pretty good year, and that's cycling.
Yes. So my goodness, you actually play footy, and then you always talk about in our sessions, baseball is been the thing. You always provide a baseball to do balance, and balance is a very important thing you've actually shown me. And a tennis ball, but a baseball bowling, that's really what you go into. So, and then you go into different type of cycling sports. So we know about your passion for sport. Like, now I know you quite well, Damian, of who you follow, but share us what kind of teams do you follow, like AFL, a team I hate, but anyway, I respect that. And other sports like baseball, that's the major baseball league. Like, who do you follow? The NBA, that's another sport, basketball.
So probably in AFL, you've got to have an AFL team. I'm Australian. I do go for Port Power. Don't hold that against me. My wife goes for the Adelaide Crows, and it creates a really fun time during the showdown where we can have a little bit of friendly banter. But most of the sport that I do follow is probably going to be in motorsport.
Motorsport's actually a mother sport. I forgot to say it as well, but
yeah, so car racing, motorbike racing. So I really get into Formula Ones. So probably McLaren. Obviously we've got Oscar Piastri that's really doing really well on the world circuit. We now I love the V8 supercars. I growing up with the Holden racing team, which is now the Walkinshaw racing team. But I do have a friend that races for Tickford, Ford Racing. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for Tickford because obviously he's a friend, and I do some of his fitness work, which is Ruben Goodall. I also like the New York Yankees from baseball. My favourite player growing up was Derek Jeter, who was the probably New York Yankees, I would probably say top, if not top 2 shortstop. And then I'd probably, with MotoGP, though, it's pretty hard to go past Marc Marquez in the Ducati team. You know, they're pretty powerful team. So, but McLaren, I'd probably say I spend most of my time watching the F1s, but I do love the V8s. The V8s are fantastic.
So, and NBA team, who do
NBA, okay, really cool. So I do used to like Larry Bird, and I know that he's a Celtic, so I sort of stayed with the Celtics, the Boston team, but I always have a fascination for New York. I've never been to New York, would love to go to New York, but so I do follow the New York Knicks, and I've got a soft spot for Orlando Magic.
Well, yeah, you got to, you know, now I like the Lakers, but if you don't know what AFL, and I mentioned this in the podcast, Australian Football League, and, you know, the National Basketball Association in America, so just a little bit understanding of that. So continue on. So what achievements you can share to help others to reach their goals, yeah, like in the gym?
Yeah, I think also that's a really good question, BJ. I'm glad you asked me that. Is actually having a goal, having a why. A lot of people they think about the work rather than looking at the outcome, and I think the outcome's quite paramount. Why are you doing what you want to do? Like BJ comes and sees me once a fortnight. He comes in and we do some strength training. Don't really do cardio because we leave that to obviously on the basketball court and or on the footy field. But we know what he's trying to achieve. You know, like you've actually had some phenomenal achievements yourself, and I hope that we can get to discuss that a little bit today, a little bit later. But having a why, and a lot of people don't understand that. You know, what comes with the why is generally a sacrifice. So what are you willing to sacrifice or trade off for that goal or for that championship or for that reason? It could be, hey, you could even be losing weight. I know, you know, that's more of a personal championship that you're conquering, but making sure that you have a why that coincides with a work ethic, that coincides with what are you willing to sacrifice, because I believe life is all about trade-offs.
Yeah, so yeah, good facts, and I hope, like I said in the intro, I hope this will help as well. But look, out of fitness, out of sport, now I know you don't have pets anymore, but what pets do you like? What animals do you like?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good question. That's a question I don't normally get asked, but I'll probably say I'll have to say dogs. My wife, when we got together, came with some border collies, and they are warming, gentle, loving animals. I never really had a dog growing up. My mother was more into cats, which is a different side of the pond. But dogs are great. You know, you leave the room for 1 minute and it feels like that you've left for 1 week. So you're always getting that excitement and the joy and the love, unconditional. But I do really like monkeys. So orangutans. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, you love the zoo. That's what I can say.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Look,
so Benno, obviously you see the benefit of training and more or less how it adds value to your life. I know that you've told me about some of your achievements, and I know that a lot of people out there probably don't even know what type of achievements that you have actually achieved. Please tell us about how fitness and how our training, and what have you achieved that you're really proud of?
Okay, so my sports are basketball, 10-pin bowling in a league, Aussie Rules, and I'll say basketball games. So the best part of what Dame's gave me as achievements is like goals like winning apprenticeship. Special Olympics Nationals is coming 2026, celebrating 50 years anniversary in Australia, which is incredible. So the goals that I would like to achieve is, yes, strength to get to that nationals competition. So how many medals I've won for Special Olympics and Nationals part. So I've done 4 out of, because every 4 years per city. So I've achieved 3 medals out of 4 Nationals for basketball.
Wow, incredible.
Incredible. Iberge Under 20s is a different competition. It's run by Basketball SA, South Australia. And I have achieved that level. It is a high tension basketball competition, so I've never won a achievement medal, but I've always called a medal is a luxury. your lottery with a medal is a great around your neck, but you achievement to get to that big day. Like, for example, like winning a premiership.
How'd that feel, Benno?
Amazing. Like, it's uncommon for even an AFL level to make five grand finals in their career. There's a lot of those athletes, and they've retired after 15 years, for example, and never made one grand final, never won it. So, achievement winning, this is the inclusive competition. So, it's the inclusive disability comp run for South Australian National Football League, known for SANFL. It's a disability comp I'm part of. I play for Kenilworth Kookaburras Football Club, and I've been there since 2020. So 4 grand finals out of 5, it's just incredible. Won 3 premierships and lost 2. So achievement from Damian's point of view to get to that where I am, it's just incredible. And I don't really think how, like Damian mentioned before about, no, I don't share what I do in the gym or something like that, because people can get a bit, the only thing I do at the Kenilworth Football Club is cardio. That's it. Like running, footy skills, all that. When I'm with Damian, it's strength, maybe could be a little bit of cardio to keep it moving, because harder you challenge yourself, the better the achievements you'll get better under pressure. So, but when we do basketball, there'll be a lot of skills with basketball can be, but like box jumps, we did that quite a bit, and it's so important, and I've got confidence from that. So I got very sore in my first session, new program, and we're doing a lot of heavy weights on the body. So it takes me about 2 and a bit days to recover to do that. And believe me, Damien, it works. And that's a good thing, and it's a positive thing to hear my, how I felt. It's very important to, yes, recover, but don't just sit, gotta keep moving. So that's part of everyday life, such as, yes, you have to work, but yes, you've got other things, you got other things in life, family, so important, that's being active. And I still keep that running around after my 2 nephews, when they come to Australia, like to Adelaide, my goodness, it's such an achievement, so full on, there's so much fun looking after that, and that's only made twice a year. So for you, Damian, having a family member, it's you know more than I do, because achievement of being a parent or uncle, it's great because you can share that in your life and see how they grow up so much. It's the same thing by doing achievements in sport. So so that's all I have to say in my achievement. There's so much to come, believe me. Like I mentioned, the Special Olympics Australia, so that's people with intellectual disabilities and autism. So it's different compared to Paralympics. So there's so many sports across different kind of sports. There's bowling, there's basketball. Basketball is very, very, very popular in Adelaide as well. So, but there's swimming and so much, field and track. And there's 10 sports going to Melbourne at the 2026 Australian National Games. So that's all I'm going to hear from that. And so that's my achievement. And thank you, Damian, to ask for that.
Mate, thanks for telling us, and thanks for being so humble about it.
No worries.
You're a prime example for a lot of people that do have disabilities and that don't have disabilities, and what we can actually accomplish. So well done to you.
Thank you so much, Damian, for your time and out of your everyday life with having a family as well. I know Damian for over 10 years at a local gym, and we met and then we took a break and then we came back, but this fella's totally got me onto balance. Yes, a little bit of cardio, but It's always learn from. I'm always a person for the challenge, and you challenge yourself, then it will work.
But also, can I just add there, BJ, your effort in the gym and your commitment to the gym is to be commended. You know, a lot of people don't understand what it takes, you know, and I'm actually really proud of BJ of what he's actually done, because he's actually achieved some really awesome and probably inspiring milestones that not a lot of people tend to tell, and he's very humble. He doesn't tend to talk about his achievements. But what are some of your favourite achievements that you've achieved?
Thank you for that question. Well, good question. I think if I can totally go back to old school, back in the first year, it's the diagonal stretch. That's something that, if you don't know, diagonal stretch, especially a lunge, and it's a hip rotation exercise. That's one thing I actually love. The one with the, like ab, so you're stretching, I know the exercise, but that's right. And really like truck bar, like doing truck bar deadlifts into a exercise of that. We're actually doing that at the moment. So,
Yeah.
So all about monkey grip. If you're first timers as well, monkey grip is all about the grip of controlling. So, but it's all about breathing as well. And Damien does remind me that occasion you would, but I know it's all muscle memory, so it's very important to stay hydrated as well doing your workout. So, like again, thank you so much for your time, Damien. It's a pleasure to have you on, first time on camera and in a local park, you know, on a lovely sunny day here in Adelaide. You know, it is a summer here in Australia at the moment, so we're getting the hot season, so, but it's quite pleasant as well. So thank you so much for your time, and yeah, thank you again.
Thanks, Benno, and obviously we all know about the BJ show, and he actually does add a lot of value to a lot of people's lives, Benno, and so we want to say thank you on behalf of everyone else.
Yes.
Thanks, BJ.
No worries. And yeah, subscribe if you like today, give a like. Alright, hit that notification as well. Alright, cheers, BJ show's out. Bye for now.